Hello viewers, welcome back to our next session, Dataweave part 3. So remember in the last session we have discussed a lot about map and map object operator. Again, as I have informed you before, Dataweave is a vast topic. You will have like hundreds of syntaxes, but I am trying to explain you the basic syntaxes so that you will understand the concept. Again, always it is better if you go through the documentation of MuleSoft. You can just go to Dataweave 2.0 MuleSoft. If you just search it, so introduction to Mule Dataweave, and from here you can start learning a lot. There are like if you are confused of any syntax, you can just type map object Mule Dataweave. Okay, it will take you to that documentation. On the left side you can see like there are number of syntaxes that we have, hundreds I can say. So if you have any questions, you can go to that particular syntax, for example minimum. So they will have example, each and every example. You can always try to go through the documentation. So here I am trying to explain only the few syntaxes which are commonly used. So without wasting time, I have for just to simplify the implementation of this syntaxes, I have written down some points. So I will show you the operator and where it can, on which data type it can be applied on, and what is the output type that you will get and what it is used for. Okay, we have discussed map operator already, and as I've said before, it is applied only on arrays. Okay, it can be only applied on arrays, and even the output will be an array. Okay, and it is used for array of objects. And map object operator, it can be applied only on objects. The output type is also like object, and it is used for objects. Okay, these two are clear. Now we will be going to discuss another 2 or 3 syntaxes which are quite important. Reduce operator. Okay, so reduce operator I will show you in the hands-on, but please remember, reduce operator can only be applied on arrays, just like map operator, and the output type is either a single value or an object. It is never an array. That is the difference between map and reduce. Okay, map and reduce both are applied on arrays, but the output type for map is array, but for the reduce operator it is a single value or it is an object. And what it is used for, it is used, the name itself says reduce, right? It is used to reduce into a given expression. Whatever expression we write, it will reduce into that. Then pluck operator, it is similar to map object operator. Okay, but it can be applied only on objects, but the output type will be array. Okay, so that is one thing. And same as map object, as I told, it is used for same as map object, but the only difference is that output is written as an array. And you can get, like, if you want to get only keys, only values, pluck is very useful for you to do that. I will show you in the hands-on. Then flatten can be used only on arrays, and the output type is also array. And what flatten does is it turns into a set of sub arrays into a single array. It will combine 2 different arrays. Okay, so all this part we will be seeing hands-on. We have already seen map and map object. I will explain reduce, pluck and flatten now. And again, my pace won't be the same like slow pace when I discussed with map and map object, because that is like totally new. But now I will try to increase my pace. Okay, again, last time if you saw, I was like writing my input over here. Okay, like for example name, okay, Shravan, then id equal to 1, right? So what if you want another input? Say this is like one input payload, and if you want to use another another kind of input, you can always define local variables. What are local variables? For example, instead of writing here or instead of using it here, if you want to use any different data apart from payload, so this is the only payload. Okay, every time I want to display this one, but what if I want to add one more array, right? If I want to add one more array, then I have to define like 2 different arrays. Okay, this is one array, and another array has something like college and city. Okay, in that case what you can do is you can define local variable. And what is the syntax for that? It is var. This var is not the variables which we have discussed in our scope of variables and all. That variables is different. This is local var. Okay, this is very simple. Keep var and give some naming, a equal to, you can define, and here it should be equal to. Okay, equal to, and you can define your array here. So I can just copy paste here. Okay, and instead of name I will say city Hyderabad, country India. Okay, now you can see here, okay, I have added extra array. Okay, so you can see here, so currently I am printing, so whatever is there after this one, right, this is the separator between headers and body. Okay, whatever is there in body, this will execute first. Okay, this is payload, you are seeing payload. What if you want to display a, okay, what if you want to get output as a, then you just type a, you can see you are getting city and country. Now my requirement is to add both details into one array. Okay, both details into one array. That means I need to get the output something like name, id, city and country into one array. So what I have to do, I have to add two arrays. To add two arrays, I don't know the syntax, so I am just trying to give my try. A plus payload. Okay, it is working. It's not plus plus. If you give plus plus, this is to come, this is something like this, it will come like this. You can observe the difference between plus plus and plus. Okay, if I use single plus, what it is happening is there is something like array here, and then this is being added, the payload is added as it is. But if you don't want this extra curly braces, you can always use plus plus, or you can use flatten. Okay, you can see what is the difference, what is the use of flatten. So I told like flattens can be applied only on array. So first remove this flatten and see the output of a plus payload. The output of a plus payload is array because it is surrounded by square brackets. That's how you will see. Then you can apply, whether if I try to apply map object, it will say error, because map object is like should be applied only on objects or pluck, right? You cannot do that. So flatten can be applied on arrays. Okay, this is the use of this one. Or what I can do is, I have 1 comma 2 comma 3 plus 3 comma 4 comma 5. Okay, and now I want to add these two. What I can do, I can wrap it in the curly, small brackets. I told you this is very important to wrap it in the small brackets. Now the result of this, now you forget whatever is there inside, because we are wrapping it here, we have to see what is the output. And see, you can see 1 2 3 is fine, but 3 4 5 is something like this, correct? So for that, what I can do is, this square brackets, I need to eliminate the extra square brackets. For that I am using flatten. Okay, flatten is to combine two arrays into a single set of array. Hope you got the concept of flatten. Flatten is used for that. Okay, or if you just type flatten, okay, it will automatically give actually flatten of payload, okay, comma a. It will not give comma. Okay, you have to do plus. Okay, this is how you can combine two arrays. Okay, all right. Now I have applied two arrays here. I combined two arrays, but still I don't want two different objects. Got my point? My requirement is, now let me open my JSON lint. So what the customer is asking is, customer is saying that you will have two different payloads. One is this one, name and ID, and another one is this one. Okay, he wants to combine into a single array. Okay, that is fine. We tried to use flat and we applied plus plus or whatever it is, and we combined into one single array. But still he want all the fields into a single object. Here we can see two different objects, but he want it in the single object. What does he mean that? I will show you the example here. So here he don't want this extra things. Okay, comma. He wants something like this. Okay, he want to look something like this. So what to do on this, right? So what you can do is, you can do like map, okay, reduce dollar plus plus, or I will try to explain in a different way. I will explain this one as a different one. So let's assume, let me remove this where, because it will be confusing for you. I have an example already ready here. Okay, I will add one more array here, comma, paste it, lingam and 2. Okay, now here I have to mention something, payload. Let's put payload for now. Okay, so what I will do here is payload. Now what is the reduce operator? Reduce operator can be applied on arrays. Yes, it is an array. My input is an array. So now I can apply reduce operator on top of my array. Okay, so now what will it result? So a payload, a sorry not a reduce, okay, reduce this one here. What I'm using is payload. So first thing should be like payload. The syntax format is payload space, okay, I forgot separator, payload reduce. Automatically you are getting some syntax, just like we have discussed earlier about map and map object. You remember we used to get index, value, etc. For now I will remove this, and similar to map object, we have this concept of dollar and dollar. Okay, now see what is happening. If I use payload space reduce dollar, it will always give the second last, it's not second but the last value in the array. This is the last value, this whole thing is a value, right? So if I use dollar, it will give last value of the array. If you use dollar, it will give the first value of the array. What if we have 3, for example, paste it, MuleSoft and 3, okay. So dollar will give the very first value and dollar will give the very last value. This is going, these two are going if you are using this. So if you want both dollar, and one more thing, do you observe here? So if your client is asking, he wants to convert an array into a single object with all these values, that which means he don't want this square brackets, he wants something like this one. Okay, in that case what you can do is dollar plus plus dollar. Can you see what is happening here now, right? Instead of having this, usually this kind of scenario will never occur because we will have duplicates of the key names, but usually what will happen is we say like country India, okay, I will remove, and I will remove this ID for now, city Hyderabad, right? So here can you see now is having like, even I can remove ID because ID is not required every time here in this scenario. So the customer is having a scenario where he has an array of objects which has different details, but he wants something unique, like something like this, into one single set of object. In that case you can use this reduce operator, and the syntax is dollar plus plus dollar. If you use dollar plus plus dollar, it will come in a reverse order, like city, then country, then name, and then ID. Okay, but if you give dollar plus dollar, it will come in this way. Okay, both are one and the same, it's just like the order is different, but you can use either dollar plus dollar or dollar, you know, the either way, dollar plus plus dollar or dollar plus plus dollar. Okay, so this is the client's requirement. So now you are getting this one. So we did this, this can only be achieved using reduce operator, because reduce operator, again if you go to our slides, reduce operator is applied over arrays. This is an array, the output is either a single value or an object, I told you. So this is an object, and then it will reduce into a given expression. So this is an object. All right, so this is one thing. Now what if you don't want to use dollars? What is the next one? I will just comment it out for now. I will paste it here again, and I say reduce payload, like payload reduce. It is giving item and accumulator. As I told, like you can give any kind of name here. Okay, but all that you have to do is just like you did for dollar plus dollar, right? You can say like accumulator. Again, accumulator will give only the first value, plus plus item. This is also giving the same result. Okay, again what is the difference between dollar and dollar and writing these values? I have explained you in before, like for map and map object. You can watch my previous session. So but it both results in the same thing. Okay, and you can change the names also, like, you know, first like ext and give some random like Shravan. Okay, you can use the same names here, like ext and Shravan. So this is just the naming thing. Okay, if you want the other way, you can like first write Shravan and this is ext. This will result into the same thing. So payload reduce. So first it is not only just on payload, but wherever you want to apply reduce operator, you have to put that part just before reduce, and that will reduce the things. Now example, there is another value where a equal to, I'll keep like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Let's see if how we can apply reduce on a, because I can apply reduce operator on a because type of a is an array. Can you see here? It is an array, so I can apply reduce operator. So what is the syntax? I told you, right? If you are writing reduce, first on what you are applying you have to write that one, and then you can go with reduce. For now I will use dollar and dollar things only. So if I write dollar, it is giving the last value. If I give dollar, it is giving the first value. And if I say dollar plus dollar, what it is doing here, guys? It is what it is doing? It is summing up, right? Plus single plus will sum up. So let's keep the same thing in payload. Let's see how payload looks like. It is giving error because this is like single values and this is object. We cannot do that. But here for a you can do. So that's why I told here reduce operator to reduce it into a given expression, and it all depends upon the type of input you are having. Here all are single values. Here each value is an object, so we cannot use plus operator there. Okay, that's why we used plus plus. Now here if we are using a reduce dollar plus only one plus, it is adding up all this one. What if I use plus plus here? Okay, it is doing like 1 2 3 4. It is concatenating. It's not adding, but it is concatenating. If someone asks like palindrome numbers and all, do you remember, like or reverse of a number? If in your interview you are asked like, I have an array 1 2 3 4 5, I want the reverse of an array, okay, and it should be in a single value. In that case, a reduce dollar plus plus dollar, I got reverse of the value and it is in the single value. That's why I told like it is a single value or object. Earlier for payload you got object, right? For payload you got object, correct? Here it is a single value because it is like a string, concatenating a string. Got it? That is the use of reduce operator. It is used to reduce a given expression. Alright. One more thing what I wanted to do, why you want to use accumulator, or instead of dollar, why you want to use the other way? I'll tell you why you want to use this item and accumulator. See the difference. So what I want to do is I want to append plus 3 to each one of them, or I want to get the output as 31 32 33 34 35. How to do that? Very simple. Item, okay, item is giving only the last one, so item plus accumulator. Okay, it will give 5 4 3 2 1. Or what you can do is you can write first accumulator and then you can say like item. Okay, and then for this particular item what you can do is you can add plus. Okay, you can add plus 3, or what you can do is here only if you define accumulator equal to 3, what it is happening, if you are, so see the difference. Now it is 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and if you are defining something like accumulator equal to 8, what it is doing, it is appending 8 into this one. Or if you are doing plus, single plus, it is adding like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 8 is 23, right? This is how you can define if you are using item and accumulator. For dollar you cannot do that. You cannot define here because we don't have any words to write it, but this is how you will do for if you have like this item or accumulator. Clear? So this is the use of reduce operator. So we have seen reduce and we have seen flatten. What is pluck operator? Again, pluck operator can only be used on objects. So what I will do is, for now, let me put payload. Instead of me typing everything, payload reduce dollar plus plus dollar. Okay, I will copy everything. Now let me make this input this one. And here it is saying like when I use reduce operator on this payload, it is saying you call the function reduce with this object, but it is expecting array, because reduce operator can only applied on arrays but not on the objects. So I am going to remove this one, and my current payload is this. Now if I want only the key values here, okay, only the keys, that means city, country, name and ID, that are fields. Sometimes someone asks like they want only the field names, then you can make use of this pluck operator. plug. Okay, see the difference. Again I will show that both the difference, like using dollar and using the words. So dollar, if I use single dollar is giving the values. I am getting only Hyderabad, India, Shravan and 1, which are the right hand sides, which are the value. And if you give double dollar, it will give only the keys. This was our requirement, right? It will give only this. And if you are using triple dollar, it will give the index. So that is the use of pluck operator. Pluck operator can be applied only on an object, and the output, I told you, it is always an array. Where is pluck operator? Same as map object, only difference is the output will give an array. What if you are using map object here? Map object is also similar thing, right? But map object has a syntax like, okay, for example, keys. Okay, it is giving an error. It is saying like key city to cannot coerce key city to object. Okay, this is a different thing, but payload map object, we have to write like something like test colon, because it is it will return in an object. Okay, I told you, right? Map object will return an object, and object should always have key value pair. That's the reason it is not giving earlier like this. So to avoid that, if you want something like only keys, okay, this is the syntax. I told you, right? There are two differences. So let me comment out this. No, let me copy this. Let me paste it here, so I can keep like this. So I will keep dollar. Okay, this dollar is giving Hyderabad, India, only the values. So in the above syntax, if you want similar to like that, so uncomment it and you can just type key. You are getting keys. Both are one and the same. Okay, these two will be the one and the same. So you have to know what is dollar, what is dollar dollar, and what is dollar dollar dollar. Okay, just concentrate on the syntaxes. Okay, so coming back to this chart, we have discussed everything: map, map object, reduce, plug and flatten. So map operator can be applied only on arrays. Okay, map object can be applied only on objects, reduce on arrays, plug. You can take a screenshot of this. You can always do some practice. Hands-on is really important. Alright, so we have discussed about cannot coerce arrays, default values yesterday, converting number to. So these are very important things. If you have not seen the previous session, please go through it. Alright, and common syntaxes that we use is reduce, plug, flatten. We discussed this. Group by, distinct by and custom functions, and defining local variables. I have discussed about defining local variables, which I have shown. Let me discuss group by, distinct by, custom functions also, if else. Okay, so these syntaxes we can see. Now coming back to our old example, like let me say, okay, let me create a new example. So let me put payload here. Local variable is nothing but this one. Okay, local variable is nothing but this one. One thing you might have observed here, whenever I want to define like name colon Shravan. Okay, this is another important observation, so that you won't forget the syntaxes. Anything after this separator is called body. Okay, and whatever you are writing body, whenever you assign something, it is not, you will not give equal to symbol. This doesn't work. You should always give colon symbol. And whatever is there above the separator, those are called headers, and headers you cannot give colon, that will give error. It will give equal to. In your examination questions, in your examination point of view, they will give you syntax like, ask them to create a function, or whenever they ask you to how to define a variable, they will give this one of the options. But this is wrong, because you cannot give colon. So how to remember that? Anything above these three dashed lines above this one should always be assigned as equal to. Anything after below that should always give be colon. That is the difference. All right, so now there is a if else statement that we can try to use. Now again, the customer wants something like, he has a raw data, name is Raman. Okay, subject math, and marks is 30. Now the customer wants only one thing. Okay, he wants the output something like, or I can just use the same thing. Oh, this is wrong thing, because I need to use as an object. Okay, this is the correct payload. So go here, place it here. Okay, so he wants something. He wants the output as result, whether it is pass or fail, based upon the marks. He don't want to display marks on his website. He just wanted to know whether that person is passed or failed. He don't want to display the marks. That is his requirements. Okay, so what to do, how to do that? That is where we will use if else function. It is very simple. You can see like this. So payload. Okay, as usual, if you want to write something, if you want to get something similar to like this, what you will do, you will just copy paste here and here, but these values should be dynamic. So what I will do, this is how first I will try to portray, and then you are applying something on the payload, right? Payload. Now I have to know whether I have to use map or map object. As this is an array, because it is surrounded by square brackets, I will use map. Okay, now I have map. Now let me add one more object here. Okay, apex social subject, and let us give 70. Okay, you can see two objects created because we have two objects and we are using map operator. Now name, as usual, we will get from the input $.name. Okay, I got name and apex hours. Now I want only the result. If I use $.marks, I'm getting the marks, but what is the customer asking? He don't want marks. He is saying like, whenever marks are greater than 60, that means it is pass, else it is fail. Okay, it's very simple. What you have to do is, if $.marks is greater than 60, you will define like pass, and every if statement should definitely have else fail. Now you can see my output, how it looks. My output is having only the result fail. This is failed because the marks are 30, which is less than 60, and this is pass because this is greater than 60. So syntax is very simple. I will write it for you again. If, okay, $. Whatever you are trying to judge, right? $.marks greater than 60. Here you have to write within double quotes or whatever you want. Okay, pass, and every if statement, after that you can give else fail. This is how you will get. Again, what if the field itself is not present? Okay, what if the field is not present? What are marks? What if the marks field is not present? Here you are getting cannot coerce error. This is what we are discussing, cannot coerce errors. Okay, to avoid that, we have to do null checks and default. We have to use this combination. Okay, then what you have to do, put this $.marks into another simple small braces, and inside that you say like default 0. Okay, that means we will ask customer, we don't know like what should be defaulted, so we will ask customer, if the marks are present, what should we do? Then he will say like, okay, if the marks field is not present, just go with 0 marks. Then what we are doing, $.marks, here marks is not present, that's why it is defaulting it to 0 and it is failing. Okay, so these errors are really important, because success scenarios it is very easy to learn, but failure scenarios are entirely different. Alright, so this is how you can use if and else statements. Now, as we have discussed, reduce, plug, flatten, if else, group by, distinct by, we will come there. And custom functions. How to write custom functions? Very simple, don't worry about it. I will give you the syntax first and I will tell you in what scenarios we can use custom functions. Okay, to define a custom function, it is very simple. fun space, just like var. So just see the differences. Okay, fun space, give some function name. Okay, like result check, that is my function name. For every function you should have a open and small braces. Again, colon, give something like pass. It is giving error because I told you whatever is there above this 3 dash line, above this separator, it should always be defined as equal to. Okay, so we have written result check and empty braces here, and we are defining something. but this function is not being used. Okay, whatever is there in header, guys, remember this, whatever is there in headers, unless you use it in body, it will not execute. Okay, now let's see in what way that we can use this function. Okay, for now what I will do is I will remove this result field. If you how to call this function, I will show you. Right now you can see name and name, only names field, because I have only names. How to call this function? Just copy paste this name, like function value, give some name, result check. This is how you can call the function. Whatever function you have defined, if you want to call it, this is the process. And now what if I want to give like 1? This is the result 1. You can see 1 and 1. Now my requirement is whatever value you are passing here, like for example, if you pass 2 here, it should add 2 plus 1. If you pass 3 here, 3 plus 1, something like that. That means you want to pass arguments to your, these are called arguments. Whatever you want to, if you want to pass some input to your function, then you have to first define your input. Give some random name A. Okay. As soon as I have given A, it is giving error because this function is expecting a input value, some input value. So if I give 1, it is giving 1 only. If I give 2, it is still giving 1. Why? Because it is not, this A is not being used here. Always it is hard coded to 1. Okay. If it is 3, it is 1. Still it is 1. But what if I am doing my function, if I write my custom function 1 plus A. Can you see here what is happening? 4. If I give 3, 4. If I give 5, it is 6. Or if I multiply by like 2. Multiply by 2 into A. 5 2s are 10. That's why you can see output is 10. Okay. 6 2s are 12. So this way you can create your custom functions. But the syntax is, if you want to pass some input, you have to define that variable. You can define more than one. A comma B. Okay. And this one you can say A plus B. Okay, and this should be so you can use only these variables here. You cannot use like C plus D. This is wrong. You cannot use this. You can, whatever input parameters you are passing, you should use the same alphabets or names, A plus B. Here we have to pass 2 because this function is expecting 2 variables. You can pass 2 comma 3. This will result in 5. 22 comma 3, it will give 25. See, give some numbers. So this is every time you are calling this function, it will go and execute here. Okay, how to use that in our scenario in this case? Now my client is having something like max, he has 30. Okay, social, he has 40. Let me give, this is string. Okay, give 30, better. Social is like 70. Now I will copy this and paste it here again and give apex. Okay, now my customer wants something like here, like max pass. Okay, then social fail. Okay, that's what he wanted. He wants some output like this. Okay, how to do that? So one thing you can do is here max. For now I am not calling any function. Okay, I will say like if, I can use if statement, right? If dollar dot maths is greater than 60, then put pass, else fail. My syntax is wrong, fail. Okay, this is what I am giving, right? Pass and fail. Okay, max, it is fine. Next one is social. Again I can just copy the same one, and instead of $.maths I can give social. Now he has like, he's passing in like pass, fail, pass. Okay, and this I will want to give 80 marks, so pass. Okay, so what I am doing here, I am writing the same function which has same functionality twice. Do we really need that? No. So this is the reason why we create custom functions, so that you can write once and use it again and again. So what I will do is, for now I will copy all the thing here and paste it here. Okay, instead I cannot say dollar blah 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 dot social and all. Okay, I will say like a, and I'll say if a is greater than 60, pass, else fail. Okay, now what I'll do, you see. Okay, I'm saying like, so how to call this function? So maths, for example, first I will say like test. I will test my function. Okay, result check, and I will paste 30. 30 is giving fail because I am passing this 30 value into a, and here now 30 greater than 60, it is false, so it is failing. So that's how we have to work. Now very simple, instead of 30 we have to pass our $.maths value. Simple, very simple, right? What is happening now? Result check function $.math value here for the first object is 30. Here the value goes 30 greater than 60, it is failing. The next value is 80, so result check of 80, we will pass this a value as 80 greater than 60, it is pass. That's why it is giving pass and fail. And next thing, so this is your maths result. Next is your social result. Okay, so I will use the same function again. Instead here I will use $.social. Same. Now I am not using this if else statement twice. So in this scenarios you can use this custom functions. That is how you can use this custom functions. So guys, Dataweave is really important and it's very easy, and I love Dataweave. Okay, so try to do more hands-on so that you will get habituated to all this syntax. Again, there are like hundreds of syntax, but these are the common things, and in your certification exam they will ask you the syntaxes of how to create a function. So this is the syntax, fun space, you can give any name to this, and how to pass these arguments, all this stuff, right? It is, you have to follow, and this can be remembered only if you are doing hands-on. Okay, so next we have like two more things that I'm going to explain for this particular sessions. Okay, group by and distinct by. Why to use group by? Very simple. So what I will do here is, your customer is having multiple random, unsorted data. Okay, he has Apex, he has Shravan, okay, and he has like English. Okay, so let me remove this and keep payload. Okay, he has English. Let me remove the functions also so that it will be easy for you. English, and my own language Telugu, and Apex Hours is having some Hindi and Spanish. Okay, he has different things. Now if you want to segregate the details according to the name, right, then you can use this group by function. Again, group by functions can only be applied on arrays. Okay, very simple, syntax is very simple. On what you want to apply, mention that. So for here now it is payloads place group by. Again, you will get this item index. Every time you will get item index or this kind of stuff, but you can always use dollar or dollar something like that. $. Okay, name. So you can see the output. What is happening here? All Shravan marks are coming here. Here it is giving like different Shravan because I am using uppercase, but if you remove, so it is case sensitive. Now you can see all Shravan marks are placed here, all Apex marks are placed here. It is grouping by. That is the advantage of using group by function. And what if you want to put all maths marks together? $.marks. It is not giving maths because it's in different objects. Maths is not present. So group by function can only be applied on the common fields. Okay, so here we have only one common field, that is name. Clear everyone how to use this group by function? So this is, so your key will be like this and the value of arrays will be like this. So Shravan is having the values like Telugu, English, whatever it is, and then name Apex is having this. Clear? That is the group by function. Now if you want to use distinct by, very simple. I will not change the payload. I will keep local variable for my another test data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 6, 7, 3. So you can see if I keep a, my customer is saying remove the duplicates from your inputs. That is your requirement. Here we have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, blah 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 blah. Remove the duplicates he is saying. So very simple. The syntax is a distinct by. Again if you use distinct by and auto suggestion, you will get all this stuff, but you don't require that. A distinct by dollar. Now you can see all the means it will give only the distinct values and remove the duplicates. You can see 1 is repeated twice, 2 is repeated twice, but in your output it is always 1 2 3 4 6 7. That is the advantage of using distinct by. Now again, if you go here by, if you apply distinct by on your input payload, right, payload space distinct by, I will remove this dollar dot name. Okay, dollar dot name, this is giving only distinct values, the others are removed, the second parts are always removed, but we won't go for that situation. But if you want to, you know, distinct, you know, remove the duplicates, you will be using distinct by. So folks, so far we have covered, what all we have covered is, we have discussed map. All these 3 sessions we have discussed like what is data view, then we discussed like map object, reduce, flatten, some errors, reduce function, flatten function, group by, distinct by, custom functions, defining local variables. So with this we are going to end the data view session. We covered like 3 sessions for today. I mean, for this session, sales for, you know, MuleSoft for Salesforce developers, but there is a lot to learn for Dataweave, but this is a very good start for you. Please do hands-on. It is really important, and I am going to send us assignment. We will be posting an assignment for just for your purpose to do some, you know, it's kind of an examination for you. We will see how much you have learned from our sessions. So please don't forget to follow us on our Epoch servers, and don't forget to follow me on MuleSoft Tech Zone and my LinkedIn channel. This is Ramanlingam signing off, and we will see in your next session. Thank you.